Item 10B, receive the mid-year financial report as of December 31st, 2015, and adopt a resolution approving a mid-year amendment for the fiscal year 2015-16 budget.
And members of the council, the city's mid-year report is prepared in order to compare the first 6 months of the current year to the 6 months in the prior year. General fund revenues with 50% of the year complete. As you can see, the general fund revenues are lower than the prior year at 45% compared to 51% last year. Why are these revenues lower? The biggest drivers for this decrease are sales tax and business license revenues. We are also seeing significant increases in property tax and TOT. As you can see in the top column, property tax is up 6% compared to last year. That's about $245,000, and TOT with only 4 months of revenue is 7% higher than the previous year. However, we are seeing a decrease of $734,000 overall, and that's a 4% decrease. The reason for this, the biggest driver of this decrease is the sales tax triple flip. And I know it's kind of confusing. I just wanted to kind of go over it really quickly, and I will try not to bore you. Just kind of go over with the first flip. Yeah, you like my little monkeys down there. I wanted to show. The first flip was 0.2% or 25% of the 1% local sales and use tax are shifted to the state to guarantee economic recovery bonds. The second flip was the revenue that was lost from the first flip is backfilled to local agencies with property tax that was designated for schools. And the third flip is the shortfalls to the school from the second flip is backfilled by the state general fund. So a little background just on this was approved in March 2004 by voters, and it was to issue the $15 billion of bonds to close the state deficit. So we fast forward to, and also just a reminder that when we started receiving the triple flip reimbursements, the very first reimbursements were only for 9 months, so we were always a quarter behind. So when we're here in the unwind period, the bonds have been paid off, and as of January 1st, we're going to be receiving the full 1% local sales tax rate, which is very good for my department because it'll be a lot easier for us to do our budget projections. On January 2016, the county auditor dispersed 1/2 of the triple flip payment, and that was only based on that lag quarter that I just mentioned. So that quarter that we didn't get, we're getting caught up now, so we only got half of that. So you can see the city received $206,000 compared to $900,000 in the prior year. And we will receive the other half in May, so it'll be another $206,000. And then the final true-up will be in June, July, and it's estimated from our sales tax representative that we'll get an additional $1.2 million. So just because the sales tax looks like it's low, it's a timing difference and should even out. The other difference was the business tax, and this is something I have brought forward to the council in the first quarter, and it's down because a larger business is paying a little less, a lot less, down $499,000 compared to the prior year. And as I mentioned earlier, property tax and TOT are showing an increase, so I am recommending that we adjust the budget, reduce the business tax by $400,000, and increase property tax and TOT budget by $300,000 and $100,000. That does leave the $99,000 left in business licenses, but we have new businesses throughout the year, and so I'm hoping that that will take care of that deficit or lower amount and correct itself. Expenditures are on track. As you can see from the departments, most are actually under 50%, so we are at 49% now, which is really, really good. It shows that we are monitoring our budgets and staying within them and looking at our expenditures carefully. Moving to the enterprise funds, revenues are coming in pretty much on track. Stormwater is a little lower than what we had originally budgeted, and this is because we had a transfer in of $250,000 budgeted, but we haven't moved that money yet. So once we move, it'll be fine, or it'll be on budget. With the expenditures, they are below 50%, and this is because this is the first time that we've started including the CIP expenditures within the budget to show you the total amount that's actually budgeted. And so the CIP projects are in different stages of completion, so that causes it to look like the less is being spent. On the cable fund, as you can see, revenues are below 50% at 43%, and this is due to the rate increase didn't take effect until September, and when we prepared the budget, we assumed it would be as of July 1st. Also wanted to just bring forward that on February 9th, we did have a study session, and we came up with 3 items that we are slowly going to move forward to try to address that deficit, and one was to reduce the franchise fee paid to the general fund to what it should actually be. And then 2 is to propose a rate increase and bring that back to the council and before July 1st to be effective as of July 1st, 2016. And to gradually reduce the equity transfers over the next 4 years by approximately $200,000. And that concludes my report, and I'm available for any questions.
Any questions for Angie?
Through the chair.
Marty?
Can you briefly discuss, here I'm looking at your attachment 2, under allocations and other revenue and departmental revenues, can you just give us a little bit of a flavor of what those actually are? I'm looking at your page 1 of the quarterly financial report. 52. I'm sorry. Oh, there's a 1 there and a 52. 52 on staff report.
Okay.
Sorry.
And then
The question is, what are the allocations and other revenues? If for somebody that's not familiar with this, I don't see it broken down on the right where the other ones are. Just to have an understanding
Sure.
Broadly what that is.
I'm trying to recall, and other revenues would be any type of miscellaneous revenue. Trying to think off the top of my head what's in there. There's several actually. Let me see. I may have. So it's reimbursements, cost recovery, any type of maybe like return check fees, recoveries. Looks like reimbursements, things like that. So it's quite a few different items that are in that category.
And then how are the departmental revenues, just for the public that maybe doesn't know, what would that be? Like examples,
Sure.
that permit fees and encroachment permits
Correct.
and building permits and
So
staff
community,
time?
yes, community development has their fees for building and planning. Engineering would have their same type of plans, fees, and then also police and fire also have
Okay.
their own fees. So
Anything else?
The one other thing I think is important in our cable that we are pursuing installing, or we are in the midst of installing fiber at Shelter Creek, exploring that. I was wondering if that's a big thing.
Correct.
I just wanted to make sure that gets an exclamation point,
Yeah.
because a lot of people are waiting for that there at Shelter Creek and across San Bruno.
yeah, and I think I mentioned in the staff report too
Right.
that we are looking at lease financing. We've got quotes, and I know that Cable is working on the RFP for to get that out.
Okay.
Anything else? Ken?
If there's nothing else, I'd like to adopt a resolution amending the mid-year, or approving the mid-year amendment.
Councilmember Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Connell.
Aye.
Councilmember Rico Medina.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Marty Medina.
Aye.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye.